Hey, what's up, guys? Working on the engine again. We just got it all, got the two case halves put together and got all of the nuts and bolts for the case put on and torqued. Now, if you did like us, where we bought an engine, we bought it from the guy that we got the Beetle from. He had a bunch just kind of sitting outside. It was, they were covered up and everything, but there was parts missing. Like when we got it, it was pretty much like this with the cylinders and the heads, but that was about it. So you might find that you're missing bolts and wondering, okay, what goes here, what goes there. So just for those of you that might be wondering, you have 21 nuts and bolts for the case to put the case halves back together. And there is a specific order that you're supposed to tighten them, and you've got torque specs there. So just to walk you through it on this, you've got 6 of these main, these are 15 millimeter, I think they call them M12 nuts. So 6 of these guys, they're supposed to be torqued to 25 foot-pounds. And then you've got the smaller nuts, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, 10, and 11. Now, you saw that I skipped a few because those are actually bolts that either bolt through or bolt into the case. So you've got 11 of just the smaller nuts. So again, 6 of the larger M12, I think these are 15 millimeter. And then you've got 11 of these smaller, these are 13 millimeter. And then you've got 1, as you can see here, this is a bolt that goes straight through with a nut and washer on the other side. This one here is actually a bolt that bolts straight into the case. The case is threaded because of your oil cooler that will end up going right there. As you can see, we're wiping off a lot of this Permatex that we put there. So again, 6 of the bigger ones, 11 of the smaller ones. You've got 1 bolt here that goes through with a nut on the other side. The one by the oil cooler is going to be a bolt that goes through and threads into the case. You've got another one here on the corner that is a bolt straight through with a nut and washer. And then on the end, close on the bottom, closest to the flywheel, is another one that is a bolt with a nut and a washer. So total, you've got 21. The smaller ones, the 13 millimeter ones, are torqued to 14 foot-pounds in 2 steps. So start off at like 10 foot-pounds, and then crank and do all of them, and then crank it up to 14 foot-pounds. The 6 bigger guys are 25 foot-pounds, and we did that in 2 steps. Actually, we did it in 3 steps. We snugged all of them to about 10 foot-pounds, and then we went in the order. And as far as the order is concerned, the very first one that you're supposed to do, as you can see here are the 6 larger ones. This little guy right here is the very first one that you torque down, and so he goes down to 14 foot-pounds. After you do that, you do the 6 big guys here, and you do it in a crisscross pattern. So basically what I chose to do is I started top, down, up, down, back up to middle, and across. And I did that at 18 foot-pounds and then 25 foot-pounds. And then you also, after that, you do the remaining smaller ones in a crisscross pattern. And you can kind of do that as you kind of feel led. Since I started with this guy up here as the small, I think I started down here, and then I want to cross and across and across and back and back and back and back as I made my way through, and you get it to 14 foot-pounds. So again, all in all, you got 21 nuts and bolts to put the case together. So hopefully that helps you out. Some of these we did find that we had to run to our hardware store and see if we get some metric threaded bolts, like that one that bolts straight into the case. We didn't have one, and we just so happened to go to the hardware store to grab some for something else. So kind of whatever works.